Hey everyone, so over the past couple of days, there's been a major change that has happened to something that I think is fundamental or has been fundamental to YouTube for a very long time, and that is the dislike button. And there's a lot of different people on this platform giving their opinion generally about what this change is. So today I wanted to talk about what the change is and why YouTube is doing it, but then I wanted to bring my twist to it and talk about it in regards to investing and finance content specifically, as well as just share my opinion on the change and whether I agree or disagree with it. Also, I'm wearing a hat in today's video because my hair looked crazy today and I just wanted to wear a hat, so sue me, right? Well, you can leave a dislike. Well, I mean, you can leave a dislike, but no one's gonna see it, so, go ahead and do it. So a couple of days ago, YouTube made an announcement that they were going to be removing the dislike count across YouTube. So this means that you'll still be able to click the dislike button. It will still be there, but the little counter and the ratio between the number of likes and the number of dislikes will be gone. And I think PewDiePie said it best in his video on this topic.
It's like when you give your little brother the controller and it's not plugged in and they think they're playing, but really they're not.
And this change has actually been in the works for quite some time, so we probably shouldn't have been shocked. We were kind of blindsided, I guess, a little bit about the timing of this release. They didn't really build up to it. They just slapped it on us that they're removing the dislike count. But they have been working on this for quite some time. All the way back earlier in this year, they ran an experiment for some viewers on some videos where they tried removing the dislike count to see what would happen. And what they actually found was that people, when they didn't see the dislike count, were far more likely to leave a like or to not engage in the like-dislike ratio. So the result actually was, by removing the dislike count, even though you could still dislike the video, the ratio went more positive. So why is YouTube doing this? Why did they do the experiment, and then why did they look at the data from the experiment and decide, yes, we want to remove the dislike button? Well, it can pretty much be summed up into two words: hate mobs. According to YouTube's research, there is a problem on YouTube with groups of people using the dislike button as a way of marginalizing some creators, sending them waves of dislikes for reasons unrelated to the actual content. So by removing the dislike button, it removes the incentive for people to dislike simply to see the dislike count increase. But I don't want to just talk about this topic generally, again, like I think everyone else has. I kind of want to relate it to the content that I produce and the content in my community, which is finance and investing, and why in particular in this segment of YouTube, I think it's particularly important that we do have a dislike count. I think by far the biggest reason is to dissuade creators from making clickbaity content, right? Clickbait is what happens when a creator creates a title and a thumbnail that is not in any way, or is misleading, maybe it's related in some way, but is misleading to the underlying content of the video, what the video is actually about. And of course, clickbait is something that is a problem across all different types of video on YouTube. People get paid for those first few ads that you watch when you click on a video, and you usually have to watch some ads before you even can figure out what video you're watching. So it's very enticing for people to clickbait content so that they can get your click, get the algorithm spinning, and then what the content is, it comes second. But I find it particularly irritating when it comes to finance, and that's probably because I like looking at things related to finance and investing on YouTube, but I find it particularly annoying every couple of videos when you're scrolling through recommendations. Every third video will be something like, I'm going all in on this stock, or this stock is going to be the next 10x, 50x stock, right? And these are videos that a lot of the time are extremely misleading to what they're actually talking about in the video. I mean, I've seen creators say that they're going all in on a particular stock, and then a couple of days later, I'm going all in on another stock. Clearly, in none of these videos, they're talking about actually going all in on those videos. And maybe people know this, but I find that content particularly, I don't know, I just don't particularly like content that is clearly not showing what is actually being spoken about in the video. And while a lot of those videos have really strong like to dislike ratios, maybe they're 99% like or something like that, a lot of the time those videos still get really high like ratios. But at least having the like-dislike ratio gives people an opportunity to share their opinion about a video, to say, hey, this video might not be what you're expecting. But beyond that, the dislike button and the dislike count actually provides a consequence for creators when they're producing content, right? I don't really know too much, and I haven't really seen too much around hate mobs and people kind of fake disliking videos. Most of the time when I've seen a video that is heavily disliked, that has an 80-90% dislike ratio compared to likes, most of the time I think that the video deserves that. Usually it's because the video is either misleading, or the information is factually incorrect in the video, or they're sharing an opinion that is just vastly different from what most people think. And I think YouTube is a great platform where anybody can, or pretty much anybody can, share their opinion on topics and find a community of people that think similarly to them. But I also think that it's important that there are mechanics available for people to publicly criticize content that is, you know, an unfavorable opinion, or something that a lot of people disagree with. And I think the dislike count provides an outlet for that in a really, really simple manner. And then there's videos in finance and investing that are purely mathematical, or they're just factually true or not. They're not opinionated. And if those videos have incorrect information, or the mathematics has been done wrong, then the dislike count can be an opportunity for people to see that that video may not have factually correct information in it. For example, think about a video teaching accounting, right? And maybe someone in the video says that cash and cash equivalents is a non-current asset, right? That is factually incorrect. That's not up for debate. Cash and cash equivalents is a current asset on the balance sheet. So what the dislike count allows is for people to quickly look at the ratio and see whether it's worth spending 20-30 minutes watching this video, or whether the video is going to be a waste of time. And YouTube actually specifically pushed back against this point in the little summary video that they released a couple of days ago.
Without a public dislike count, how can viewers tell if a video is worth watching? Again, I kind of had this question too, but it turns out that while viewers might use the dislike count to give them a sense of a video's worth, when the teams looked at the data across millions of viewers and videos in the experiment, they didn't see a noticeable difference in viewership, regardless of whether they could see the dislike count or not.
But I think they completely missed the point here. It's not that heavily disliked tutorial videos have less views, it's that people see the dislike ratio and become skeptical about the content, and then they may jump down to the comment section and see what other people are thinking. So yes, videos that have misleading content in them and a heavy dislike ratio, they may still get a lot of views, but the people watching those videos are far more likely to question the content and maybe not take the advice in that video. And I think that's really, really important, particularly when it comes to finance and investing teachings. And then the final main reason why I personally, as a creator, really like having the dislike button is because it gives me feedback on how the audience received a video, regardless of whether it was picked up by the algorithm, right? It's one thing for me to look at how many views a video got and whether it got picked up in the algorithm and shared to a lot of people by YouTube. But even videos that don't perform well on views, I can look at the like to dislike ratio to see whether the audience enjoyed that video, or whether it was something that they didn't enjoy, or whether my thumbnail and title were too misleading in regards to the actual content in the video. And this actually won't be going away because, like I said, the button will still be there. The count just won't be publicly available, and the count will actually be available to creators in the back end. So I'll still be able to see what the like to dislike ratio is. But I think that that ratio is not going to be really relevant anymore, based on what YouTube itself said about its experiment.
So earlier in 2021, YouTube experimented with making the public dislike count private to see if it would help reduce these coordinated dislike attacks across the platform. And after analysis, they did see a reduction.
So even if I can still see the like to dislike ratio, even YouTube admits that without the dislike count publicly available, people are less likely to dislike the video. So my count is going to be different. And for me personally, whenever I've had a video that was not well received relative to other ones, maybe at most it had an 8% dislike ratio. Well, what do I look for now? Do I now question myself if I have a video that has 4% dislikes? I don't really know how to think about using that metric in the back end anymore to curate content for you guys. But regardless, of course, this isn't something that's, I guess, a critical part of YouTube. I'm still going to be making content, and it's really not going to change too much how I make content, but it is a major change, I think, and I kind of wanted to share my opinion on it, particularly from a finance YouTube perspective. And I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comment section below. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed this video. Leave a dislike if you want. While the button is still there, they actually haven't taken it away while I'm recording this video just yet, so you may still see the count. But if you're watching this at some time in the future, in the next couple of days, maybe then it will be gone. But I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comment section, what you think about this change. I don't think YouTube is going to go back on this decision. It seems like it's something they've been thinking about for a really long time. But I'd love to hear your thoughts regardless down in the comment section. But with that said, I hope you guys got some value out of today's video. I mean, there wasn't too much value, I guess. I just kind of shared my opinion, but we'll be back with investing content over the next couple of days and over the next week. But with that said, I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.